Hello, everyone.
Hello, guys. Welcome to Pitching in Line. It's been 1 week since IPL 2021 has started. So we are gonna make this weekend analysis, and let's jump into the points table. Right now, Royal Challengers Bangalore are on the number one position. And do you think they're deserving that number one position right now?
I think both the matches which they won, they stole the match, especially in second match when they, when the Sarach was cruising at one point when they threw it away and gave. So that was the thing which Royal Challengers Bangalore had in the second match. But overall, the win is a win, and they will be really happy with it. And the way they are approaching the game is what makes me, feel good about this team. And Kohli has been smart this time around. He is ready to take gambles. I mean, we have seen Washington Sundar open in the first game, and he wants Shabazz Ahmed to bat at number three. He's willing to take chances with the team. And see, these are the chances are those things which may work or may not work. It's all about how you approach the game. And I think in that aspect, Kohli has scored 100 out of 100. And with Maxwell's contribution glaring at the right time, I think RCB are at its peak now.
Yeah, yes, definitely. I think the biggest confidence will be that both the games are pretty close games. I mean, they were in a situation where they might lose the game, and they came back and they won the match. I think so. That would be a huge confidence booster. And one strategy which I really liked about RCB is they started using Kohli, Maxwell, and De Villiers in a different way.
Correct, correct.
Before Kohli would used to go all top heavy, him and De Villiers used to bat together. But right now, Kohli has took that onus of starting overs, and somewhere Maxwell has taken the role of handling the middle overs and trying to score up in the middle overs, and De Villiers is finishing the role. So I think it's good that they have, you know, their strengths. They have displaced it, and they filled up in between with all these talented youngsters. So it's like you can also guide the youngsters, and youngsters also can play freely. So and even Maxwell actually said it in an interview that that is much more relaxed, much more confident because AB de Villiers is going to come after him. So he has that freedom to go after the bowling. And we'll talk about RCB's bowling. RCB has been known for its bowling in a bad way, but this season both the matches they have defended very well. So what do you think has really worked for them?
I think their pace bowlers are doing well. Kyle Jamieson, he has adapted to the conditions really well. He's playing in Asia for the first time, outside New Zealand
Mm,
for the first time to be precise. And I think he has
mm,
adapted himself rightly. And even in the first match, when you saw him bowl, he was using those slower ones very effectively. And Harshal Patel, I think, has become the X factor of this team. He was traded from Delhi Capitals this year, and even he also
mm.
mentioned in the interviews that he is given that responsibility of finishing off the innings. And I think in both the matches he has done well. And the fifer against Mumbai Indians was always special, because against a team like Mumbai Indians, if you are able to take 5 wickets, you got to have some talent. So I think Harshal Patel has been the biggest positive in this RCB bowling lineup.
Yeah, certainly. So we'll move to the next team. So what is the next team?
It's CSK. CSK won the match yesterday convincingly, I should say. They hammered Punjab Kings. And Deepak Chahar. Even we were talking about Deepak Chahar's form, how fun he will how he will get the game. Even I was talking about him getting replaced, but I think he
Mm,
has shut his critics in the right way yesterday. And
mm.
he kind of repaid the faith showed by Dhoni on him. And the conditions were really good for him to bowl, and he swung the ball really well. And the ball which dismissed Mayank Agarwal, said that yes, Deepak Chahar is back.
So what do you think of the whole combination of CSK in both the matches? Do you think it's working well for them? I know it's too early, but do you think it's a settled unit?
I think partially yes. Why? Because their approach towards batting, which was clearly missing in the last year. they were very submissive, to say the least. They had this old and tried and tested approach that we will bat through the overs, and in last 3-4 overs we will go and explode. That formula really backfired them in the last year, and I think with Moeen Ali's arrival and to make him bat at number 3 has turned things around, and he is giving that injection to the CSK innings. Despite losing wickets, in the first match when we saw and their openers were dismissed early. Usually CSK, how they will play is they will just take their time, rotate the strikes, and get occasional boundaries. But we saw Suresh Raina and Moeen Ali going after the bowling even after losing wickets. That's the approach I think has been the difference in CSK's batting this time.
Yes, and one more thing which I would really like to bring up is the pitch. CSK that has played in the first match, they scored 188, and that was a completely different pitch. And in Mumbai, the last 2 matches has been a slow track, which has traditionally been CSK strength. Once the pitch has been this thing, we could see the old CSK, and right now I think CSK under Dhoni, I think everything is falling in place for them. I think slowly Jadeja is doing well, Sam Curran, Deepak Chahar is coming back. So I think a few more performances from individuals, Raina did well. So that will give a lot of confidence going into the tournament. So moving on, what is the next team?
It's Mumbai Indians. I will say that they have a scratchy start to the tournament, and even they won the last, I mean, second match. But I thought Mumbai Indians weren't really comfortable, especially in their batting. They weren't able to score those runs fluently. Even though we saw Suryakumar Yadav scoring runs against Sunrisers, but none of their batsmen, other than Rohit Sharma, partially, we didn't see them getting acclimatized to the conditions, and especially Pollard and Hardik Pandya are really struggling to time the ball. And I think they're, the thing which we were talking about, their spin bowling arsenal. Even though Rahul Chahar picked wickets, I still feel that they are very slim on their spin bowling arsenal.
I guess it's got to do more with the pitch. It's just not Mumbai Indians, but I guess none of the teams playing in Chennai has actually had good outing with the bat. And it was, and in Mumbai, usually it's a very good batting track. The platform used to be set for players like Pollard and Pandyas to come and take it over. But we are seeing it in Chennai where the pitches are very slow and it's not easy for the ball to come in. And like you rightly mentioned, they didn't really have exactly a good start. But that is what we expect from Mumbai Indians. It's been more than 7 years that they have won the first match of the tournament. And I guess the second match against KKR, that was a jailbreak.
Yeah.
30 from 31. Usually, I guess KKR was very primed to win that match, but somehow they messed it up. So I guess Mumbai would be pretty happy that they have at least one win out of the 2 games. And I think Surya Kumar Yadav will. I think he's still that X factor for Mumbai.
I really feel, because he's the one who gives that momentum to the innings, and Ishan Kishan hasn't fired yet, so waiting to see him all guns blazing. So the next team is Delhi Capitals. They started off really well. They won their first game against CSK in a very convincing manner. They're, despite missing their South African pace duo, I should say, in the first match, they still won. In the first match, they chased down the total. With Shikhar Dhawan and Prithvi Shaw getting that big partnership. The second match, we saw that their top order getting collapsed, and even in that match, if you see that they dropped one extra batsman for a bowler, so that kind of screwed things up. But even despite that, they tried to come back with their bowling attack, and they couldn't finish it off because of the heroics from Miller and Morris. And do you feel that Punt has to be really more careful while using someone like Chris Wokes? In the first match, when we saw that he was yet to bowl one more over, and second match he was bowled out initially, and he had to go for Tom Curran the last over. How what can Punt do now to take care of these bowlers? Their where when to use them and where to use them. And we even saw that Ashwin didn't bowl his full quota in second match.
Yeah, yeah, that's there for sure. I think Ponting will definitely sit with him and give him a year full and give him a good ideas. But coming to the question, I certainly feel Chris Wokes should be utilized maximum in the power play or in the starting. He's not really known for his death overs bowling, so probably that could be the reason for him to use ahead. And Tom Curran, see, he's known for his slower ones. He has those variations, back of hands, cutters, and everything. So probably that is the reason they felt, if they give bowling to him, he might deliver it. And Ashwin, yeah, I think Ashwin was probably brain fed movement, I guess, because Ashwin was bowling really well. He wasn't even considering. He didn't even consider boundary till then. So it was a normal protocol for Punt to actually give it to Ravichandran Ashwin. But I guess Delhi were hugely set back because of the change in pitch. Until then, the scores were around 200. Delhi chased 180. They didn't even struggle. They chased up 180 pretty easily. So I guess that was the issue for them with the batsmen. They were tried to go hard in the starting and they lost the wickets in that process. So whom do you think in these two matches, which player was X factor?
I feel it's Avesh Khan. He was played above
Hmm.
Umesh Yadav and Ishant Sharma, and the way he bowled was really good. He swung the ball well. He used the conditions really well. I think he's given that responsibility of bowling with the new ball, and I think he has responded really well.
Yeah. Yes, I think Avesh Khan really, he actually stood up, man. I mean, they were actually Ishant Sharma and Umesh Yadav are out. They are Indian team players, so and he's doing well. So that's a good find. So we'll move on. What is the next team?
Next team is Rajasthan Royals. They started off. I mean, even though they lost the first match, it was a margin of the margin of defeat was just very small. Samson played a blinder, but he unfortunately couldn't finish it off for his team. But I think their bowling has been kind of on and off. But I think Chetan Sakaria is a good find for them. What do you feel about this youngster? He's preferred above Karthik Tyagi in the level.
Hmm. I mean, I think when I see him, I feel that this one is very enthusiastic, passionate, and that energy-filled kid. He's always smiling. He's happy to be out there, and he's bowling really well. Also, he's bowling good lines. He has a good pace, and Rajasthan are going with very strange strategy of having three left-arm pacers. You
Yeah,
had Jaydev but you have Shaukaria, and then
Mustafizur.
Fizz. So yeah, Mustafizur as well. So I think so far it's been working well for them. Samson's form would be very very key for will be very important for Rajasthan, and he needs to be much more consistent. He has scored a brilliant 100. That is something I guess all the IPL fans over the years won't be surprised. But for him, would be about maintaining that consistency. And they got this big blow with Ben Stokes getting ruled out of the IPL. So that will definitely affect their plans. So right now it's not looking very easy with all the injuries. They have to somehow find a way out.
But do you feel that the way we saw Manan Mora bat in the first two matches? I mean, yeah, it's fine. I mean, it's early days, just two matches. It's not easy to judge or or criticize any player. But the way he was, in the middle, I think he's not looking comfortable. Do you really feel that they should have a look at Yashasvi Jaiswal, given that anyway he's a local lad, so he'll be more acclimatized to the local conditions. What do you feel about that
No, I
change,
would still
probable
stick
change?
with Manan Vohra. Manan Vohra actually he only played in the second match. He didn't play the first
No, he
match.
played. He played. He played.
No, Ben Stokes
He,
was
he
opening,
opened
right?
with Ben Stokes. He opened with Ben Stokes.
Okay. So okay, yeah, Arshadip Singh, yeah, he got a good counter on ball. Yes. Yes, he played the first match, but I feel he's very, very talented, man. And it's
Hmm.
only two matches. See, two matches is very, very early. It's very early in the tournament. We might see the table right now, and teams and fans might think the team is doing really well or the team is doing very badly, but it's very early. It's only two matches. So I would still stick with him because we have seen him in the past. Yeah, the things what he has done for Kings 11 Punjab was extraordinary. I feel the talent is there. You should back him more. If that fellow still doesn't perform the next match or the fourth match, then they can turn towards Yashasvi Jaiswal.
And you saw that RR is filled with a lot of youngsters. Whom do you feel that they have, unearthed this time around? One person who you feel that he might be that one person to take this team forward in this edition cycle.
I mean, going into the season, I think Riyan Parag, the way he played those shots, especially in the first match, was amazing. And he's also contributing with the ball. He's bowling. He's giving you that 1 or 2 overs, and we have seen his fielding. The way he ran out Rishabh Pant. I guess that was the turning point because he was in a full flow. If I had Rishabh Pant played more 2 3 overs, the score would have been at least 10 or 15 runs more. So he's definitely contributing in each and every aspect of the game. So I feel it's Riyan Parag.
So we'll move on to the next team, Kolkata Knight Riders. Mixed start, I will say. They won it convincingly in the first match. After when they won the first match, everybody thought yes, they have cracked the code. They are looking good. Their combination is really good. But suddenly that second match comes. All this brain fade happens. Now suddenly they are looking like they are struggling to find their combinations. What do you feel KKR has you know where did they lost their combination? What is not working for them?
So I wouldn't say it's not working for them. In fact, the team which has looked very convincingly well is KKR so far. They lost the second match, but they dominated for the most part of it. They needed 30 from 31. From there, last three overs, like that, they kind of lost the match. But they looked very fluent throughout. In the first match, they were in control while bowling and batting. Against Mumbai, they were complete in control when they were bowling. They restricted Mumbai to very uh, just a pass score, and they were chasing very well. And there were very bizarre dismissals, as in it wasn't that quality of cricket is something is very sad to see. It was very bizarre. There was no common sense. He just lost 1 2 wickets, and they just needed under six and under six. It was all about taking singles, take singles, and the bowlers will bowl those occasional boundary balls, white balls, or no balls also. So they lacked really common sense, and it was very disheartening to see players like Andrew Russell, Dinesh Karthik, Ian Morgan. Nitish Rana was playing really well, and he kind of literally threw his wicket away. So they would be having very serious talks. But I don't think so. They really have a lot of issues. That was one period where it was very, very bizarre. But more than other than that, I think I think they'll talk about it about that topic only. They'll say, "See, we had a bad game. It was utterly bizarre. Uh, Sometimes it is very rare to happen, but it does happen. But we did dominate for the most part of the game. So we'll move on and we'll try to still execute the plans. I think that should be the way forward.
So, going forward, I just wanted to ask you about Andre Russell. He's bowling well, and there is no second thoughts about it. And he has been very effective in the death. Even since the last year, we saw that he was coming in bowling those tight last few overs and restricting the batsmen. But don't
Mm.
you feel that Russell is primarily known for his batting abilities? If at all they need a bowler, they could even play
Mm.
Lockie Ferguson and somebody like Pat Cummins together. But with
Mm.
Andre Russell, you have a specific role for him that he has to come and he has to finish off the innings, and he is not able to do that. What do you feel going forward? KKR should do. Should they persist with him? because he's bowling well and he has the ability to turn around the game, or they should look forward?
Mm, well, he has certainly contributed with the ball, and more than what was expected of him. He closed one match against SRH. He took 5 wickets in 2 overs against Mumbai. It's no less feat. And honestly, none of the batsmen have really prospered. If you see all the innings, you probably have one. Surya Kumar Yadav was probably one innings which was very fluent. Nitish Rana kind of looked okay. Manish Pandey hit that 61, but he looked scratchy all over. So you had only two batsmen who have done well. Most of the batsmen were struggling. And Andrew Russell, look, he's not this pressure player. As in, if you're losing wickets, 5 or 6 wickets, and there's a lot of pressure, and you need to play proper cricket, not big shots. If you need to defend and take those mature singles and occasional boundaries, that is not the game of Andrew Russell. We have seen it in the past as well. He's much more comfortable chasing 18 balls 53 than 18 balls 24 with 6 wickets down. But he's a senior pro. He plays all over the world, different leagues. He should be doing finishing of matches, and KKR management will definitely be unhappy with the way they lost the match, because you actually had two big good finishers being knocked out. They weren't dismissed. DK and Russell were not out. So I guess they'll just have a pep talk with them.
Yeah, one final question about KKR. Shakib Al Hasan, he is batting. I think way down the order to his liking, and they have somebody like Tripathi at number 3. I certainly personally feel that Tripathi is that kind of a player who will give you those runs, probably once in 3 or 4 innings. I don't think you should have those kind of rookie batsmen in that tender position at 3. Don't you feel that Shakib should bat at number 3 in this batting order to give more stability to the innings?
Yeah, I mean, on team composition, Shakib will look good at number 3. But Rahul Tripathi has done well. He scored a brilliant half century against SRH in the first match. So it's only one match he had good performance, one match he has a failure. So I think I would still stick with Rahul Tripathi at number 3. And last match they sent Shakib at a very good position, sent him at number 4, which I felt was a perfect move, because he's from Bangladesh, and Bangladesh is known for these kind of pitches. And he didn't deliver it. It's a different thing. But I think they're open with sending Shakib at 4. And one more thing with Rahul Tripathi is he's not a finisher.
Yeah.
You can't expect him to. I mean, I only see him playing at top 3, either open or at number 3. Way too down, I think it doesn't really suit his game.
So that was KKR. So next team is Punjab Kings. Interesting start to them. I mean, even KL Rahul, the way he mentioned yesterday, the first match we were able to score 200 runs, and second match we were not able to score even half of those runs. So what do you feel? Where does Punjab Kings stand at this point of time?
I think they need not have to worry. See, it's too early, so we can't really say any issues. But as I said before also, I guess teams are very surprised with the kind of pitches they were allotted. Because we have seen they scored more than 220 runs. So they'll be in that zone to score runs as fast as possible. And suddenly the wicket was very slow. And they realized it very late. And by that time, Deepak Chahar had inflicted very big damage. They lost like 5 wickets for 26 or 28. From that position, to recover is very, very difficult. But again, I think somewhere they missed a trick in between. Jai Richardson got out at the wrong time. Shah Rukh Khan got out at the wrong time. Had they actually stayed there, probably they could have ended up with 120, 125.
What do you feel about their bowling arsenal? They have the Shami and Arshdeep Singh are have been very good bowlers for them, and Jai Richardson and Meredith, we saw them going for strict in the first match, even though they bowled well in the last match against CSK. But do you feel that they are somewhat missing Chris Jordan in this lineup, or should they persist with this both Aussies because they have started with them, and do you feel that they should be given a long rope?
Yeah, probably. Since they have started the team, I mean, since they are in the starting 11, that means that means they're performing well in the nets, or they believe in them. So it's better you give them two more chances. And there has been positive. I'm mighty impressed with Arshaddeep Singh, especially in the first match. He showed a lot of character. That kid didn't back down from a fight. You could see it in his eyes. He really wanted to do it, and he did deliver it. Uh, but again, so for Punjab, really, like KL has mentioned, they had contrasting fortunes. One match they dominated very well, and second match they lost very, very convincingly. So they will be eager to go to the third and fourth match. If they do well in this third and fourth match, then you can expect a very good tournament for Punjab teams.
So the last team is Sunrisers Hyderabad. I think it is the only team which hasn't won any match. And going forward, the last match, especially against RCB, I thought they were in a very good position to win the game. And even David Warner was very disappointed with the way the team has approached the chase. And he openly told that we are just playing a cross-batted shots and getting out to the bowlers. Do you feel that they should find their crack some code and find a way to bring in somebody like Kane Williamson as soon as possible in this lineup?
See, Kane Williamson is unfit. Uh, I'm seeing this lot of fans keep on bombarding this question in the social media. But right now, Kane Williamson is not. He has some elbow issues. Prior to, he didn't even play Bangladesh series. If I'm, yeah, he didn't play it, right? So he has been carrying that niggle or some issue. And even Trevor Bayliss has mentioned that he wasn't in the playing 11 only because of that reason. But I think SRH need him more than anything else. They need him more than ever right now. And batting has been very, very disappointing. Even and it's especially more disappointing because the day before KKR actually had a collapse. So you have seen what has happened the day before. So it's only smart enough for the players to play properly. And you had players like Vijay Shankar or Manish Pandey, all these players that play in Indian domestic circle very often, and they're from Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Uh, it is home ground for Shankar and Manish Pandey. The pitches are like that, and you play like that. So it is very. It's I can understand from David Warner point of view. He would be mighty disappointed.
Talking about Manish Pandey, even our subscriber, if you saw that he was complaining that we were not very, skeptical about Manish Pandey, we were kind of criticizing it. But don't you think Manish Pandey is matured enough now that he is that kind of a player who has, playing IPL for so long? He's not able to
Mm.
close the matches. Do you really see that Nesara should take a harsh call with Manish Pandey at some point of time?
They should. They should. If I am SRH management, I will definitely drop him. I'll definitely drop him for 3-4 matches. Give him some time to think about it. Because let's be very, very honest. If I have to be brutally honest, he has been not so impactful. He has been quite terrible for SRH. They're paying him 11 crores. He's your premium Indian batsman. You bring him in. And if you see the stats, when his average when SRH wins is 24, and his average when SRH loses is 42. That means when he plays, more often than not, SRH is losing.
Yeah.
It's not like coincidence or something like that. That means he's not having that impact. And being at number 3, he should be. We have spoken about the first match where he has played very mind-numbing innings. When the run rate was over 14, he was taking singles, and when now singles were required, he started playing cross-batted shots. He made a good partnership with David Warner, but he has to go and finish off the games. And one more thing, and one more interesting stat is For SRH, Manish Pandey has faced 30 balls 14 times in these 4 seasons. More than 30 balls, he has faced it 14 times, in which SRH has lost 11 times. So it's more than the opposition. It's the way your team batsman is playing is impacting. So I think it's very high time him and even Vijay Shankar. For some reason, he's very, very highly rated among Sunrisers management, but he hasn't really put up any show. I remember last year there was a very good partnership between him and Manish Pandey, but other than that, I don't see anything else. So I think it's better that you go and try out other players. Virat Singh has been, there was a lot of hype around him. There's Abhishek Sharma. You can actually even bring Kedar Jadhav. He'll give you that. What do you say? That experience.
Yeah, he can bowl also
Yeah.
if required.
Yeah, he can bowl 1 over, 2 overs. With Abhishek Sharma, he can even give you that left arm option as well.
And especially Virat Singh, he has had a good run in the Vijay Hazare Trophy leading to this. I think it's only fair that he should be given a chance somewhere down the line before it's too late for Sunrisers going forward. And that's it, guys. That was our take on the first week of IPL 2021. Lots of surprises, lots of last ball finishes has been witnessed, and we are just only hoping that the excitement continues, and we will meet you in the next video. Until then, tata, bye bye, and